Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. Basic human rights for all people, not just Americans, but people all over the globe. My direction comes from a power that's outside of you or me. It's a power of spirit, a power of love that I connect to the power of God. And I do this because I know God loves me, and it makes me confident that God loves every human being on the face of the earth. And yet there's so much pain, there's so much suffering, and it's all anti-God. And as a representative of God, it is my responsibility to remind all people that men are not the author of life, but that God is. And God is offended that you have chosen to walk anti to the way of life. Now, here you've heard me say for some 30 some odd years the same message, and for all of these years you've disregarded it, you've closed your ear to it, you have not heard or listened to a thing that I've had to say. I ran for public office at various levels as a stepping stone that the word might get to you. It hasn't. And so I'm here today doing the same thing that I've been doing for these past years because it is the right thing to do. I have asked the people of the state of Minnesota to make me the next United States Senator replacing Al Franken. Now, based upon what my direction has been given, there is no way that the people of the state of Minnesota would embrace this. Now, what is it? It is these things, ladies and gentlemen. I am to advocate that all people in the state of Minnesota have access to all of those things that are essential for survival, like food, clothing, shelter, education, and health care. Now, these things are essential for not only life, but that the life can progress, develop. And how can this be done? By allowing everyone in the state of Minnesota to have a career of their own choosing, to have a job that's essential in the process of creating these goods, these services. Now, we know that the system is set up in such a way that we cannot access it because, for one reason or another, you have given your consent that the resources of the earth belong to those who have claimed it. The oil, the resource, whatever the resources are. And I'm speaking now not just for the state of Minnesota, but for the entire United States of America. All of those resources within the continental borders belong to the people of the United States of America. However, you got corporations on in this, corporation on in that, corporation on in this, corporation on in that. You got your small family businesses, which seems to get no support nowadays. But it is the will of the master that you know the truth, that the people know the truth, that they know that they've been conned, and that they know that being conned, you have the right to wake up. You have the duty to wake up and claim what is actually yours. Claim what is right. If a man makes a fool of you because you're acting like a fool, doesn't make you a fool. When you wake up, you don't have to continue being a fool. And now the challenge is for you to wake up and stop being a fool. Reclaim those things that will bring peace and prosperity and joy to your lives, instead of hatred and bigotry and racism and all of these things that comes from poverty, from lying and cheating and stealing and killing and terrorism and war. And this message that I have said right here for the state of Minnesota is the same message that I say to the United States of America. And I'm asking the state of Minnesota to send me to Washington so that this voice that I've given to you right today can be given across this nation to the people all over this nation. Not necessarily to the politicians, because the politicians are not going to listen to me. It will take the involvement of the people from these various states to direct their politicians to take the necessary action to relieve the pain from this country, to relieve the pain that people are feeling. And this is an expression of God. Now, I've also been given a message to tell you, the people, that the citizens of the United States of America and the religious organizations, all of them, are on the path to hell. What does that mean? That means that you're traveling a path that's going to lead you to the ultimate destruction. The evidence of this fact is in the selection of Donald Trump as President of the United States. You have never had a politician that stand before you boldly and lie to you and laugh at you and put you down, and you got groups of people applauding him. Those are those people who have been beat down to the extent that they just don't trust anybody. And so when a devil, and I'm not saying that Donald Trump is a devil alone, comes and stand before them representing evil, they just go for it because they don't trust anything else. Now I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, that it is the power of God that puts me before you, knowing that I'm running as a write-in candidate. I'm not going to be on the ballot because I can't afford it. Not only that, I'm not running as a Republican or a Democrat because they are anti-God institutions. And I'm asking you, the people, to respond differently, knowing that you've been programmed to keep going the same way you have been going. And so those who are smarter amongst you might say, why am I doing this? I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do. I'm doing it because there's only one unrighteous thing to do, and that's to keep on going the way we're going. And I do know that if this march is moving, that the powers that be, those who benefit from the system as it is, will not appreciate this, and that they will kill me. That's okay, because to me, that is the only sign that I have a relationship with God. That is the only sign that I know exactly what I'm doing, and I choose to do this because it is the right thing to do. And I say this to you because there will come a time when you wake up, and after waking up, you will recognize the truth in what I'm doing. And at that time, you will have to put your life on the line, because the only thing that you will settle for, the only thing that anybody is led by the Spirit of God will settle for, is the fruition of this effort. That means peace and prosperity, heaven on earth, as starting in Minnesota, paradise on earth, starting in Minnesota. You will only settle for that or your death. Not waiting to die from old age, not waiting to die from cancer and all of the other diseases that come upon you, but dying because you are an expression of love in the humanity of life. So I want to thank you so very much for giving me this your time. Once again, this is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. Sometimes people call me the voice of love. Bye-bye.